Well, it's when you hear network marketing, Chris, you typically think get some products and sell them door to door, the old traditional way. Mary Kay, a bunch of women rubbing lotion on each other, selling them in their kitchen. But that's not the case today. I mean, we got smartphones, we got laptops, we got the internet that's just going to just get bigger and bigger and grow. We're one states, like the majority of my business is out the country. So it's I think it's the what comes to mind is when people say that knowledge is expensive. In reality, ignorance is expensive. And you just got to go to somebody that has the proven results. That's all I've done. I went to a couple of people that had a proven track record, that had the results that I essentially wanted. And I asked them the questions, and they were saying, whoever told you those ideas about what network marketing is, I guarantee you they're probably quit at it. I guarantee you they probably never even earned a six-figure income, and never really succeeded at it. So I'm a firm believer, man, don't take advice from quitters. Go to somebody that is making it happen and get a different perspective. And that's all I really did. Network marketing to me is you're a coach. You're mentoring people. So when people say, what made you change from doing what you were doing, from consulting to doing this right here with network marketing? Well, I don't think it's anything different. I'm still consulting. I'm still working with you, but we're doing it together. We're building each other up. Most people think it's recruit. And that's not really the case. It's really you got to go to people and find out what they want and teach them how to do it. That's what network marketing essentially is show enough people how to get what they want. And I believe the reason why in the beginning network marketing had a bad name was, yes, it's not the profession, it's the people. It's the people that really go out and make this a bad name I call it desperate distributors. If you're a desperate distributor, you're going to send off the bad energy. But if you're doing it for fun, if you're doing it because you really love helping people, and you're doing it because you want to really change lives, financially, physically, mentally, whatever your product is. My product has to deal with health and wellness. So if you really want to go out there and do it the right way, it has a good name, and that's what I'm here to do. I want to make this business look good. I want to make this business look sexy. I want to make this business look successful, and we're doing pretty well at it today.
And just to qualify my brother Darrin over here, for those of you who might just be, the skeptical wheel might be going off in your mind and everything like that. Him and his brother are extremely humble, so you got to kind of pry out their accomplishments and their achievements. But this guy be on private jets with Bob Proctor all the time. This guy, tailored suits, bought the house from his parents that they grew up in. Had a Lambo. I don't know how many years ago that was, 5, 6 years ago.
I sold it last September. All
right. So he's not somebody that's like renting a Lamborghini or just standing in front of one and taking pictures and putting it all on social media to get you following. Like, I witnessed this guy go from not having any of that stuff to literally transforming not even just his life, but literally the lives of everybody that he is connected to. Now, when I said that, it triggered something in my mind. How many people, so you originally got this opportunity, you're just now finishing up with college and all that. So I'm assuming your environment or your associations or your circle was completely different back then than your circle and your environment and all that now. So talk to me a little bit about that transition.
It was tough because I had a lot of close friends that I grew up with since, kindergarten, second grade, sixth grade. And when I tell people all the time when they say, what was the main thing that did it or that's doing it for a lot of people, is the key to success is, one of the things is you want to be exposed to something better, because you don't know that you're poor until you hang around somebody that's wealthy, or you got to be around something that really opens up your eyes. When you see something bigger, you're going to want to do something bigger. And when I saw when I went to that seminar, for instance, when I flew out to San Diego, but we drove from San Diego to LA with Brad. He's one of my good friends today. And he picked me up in his Lambo, so it was like, I mean, we come from Indiana. We don't see stuff like that. And especially from the West Side where we come from, you just don't see stuff like that. And when I saw him doing it, and Brad's not the smartest guy, Brad's not he's a normal kid. And when I saw an average guy that just had an above average dreams, if he can do it, then I can do it. And so I was just exposed to something different. And when I came back, getting that information, I knew that my friends, they didn't get they weren't there for 3 days like I was. So they didn't see what I saw. They didn't hear what I heard. And I had to respect that. In the beginning, I didn't understand it, but now I do. So when I wanted to, it's like you get saved, right? And you want all your friends to get saved. You get baptized. You want all your friends to get baptized. But that's not the case. They say out of 10 of your friends, one might change. But you got to be the one that steps out and change your environment, because environment's more important than heredity. It doesn't matter what you're born or raised into. What matters is what you see every day is what you'll be every day. So when I got that information, I wanted to for one, give it to my friends, but they weren't ready to grow. Most people want change, but they don't want to be changed. And for me, I wanted not just change. Like, it's not about, do you want that 6-figure, 7-figure, whatever goal you're going for, income. It's not the money that's going to change your life. It's the mindset that's going to change your life. So I had to understand that I had to change my paradigm, my way of thinking. And I didn't care what they thought. I care about what I think, because you could think what you want to think. But if I screw up my thinking, then I'm screwed. So I wanted to saturate my mind with this information. And I knew that I was going to attract the right people in my life. I mean, we don't attract what we want, we attract who we are. And if we want something bigger and better, we got to be bigger and better. So when my friends wasn't ready to step out at that time, that's cool. I was willing to do it by myself, because leadership starts off with just you, and then you climb that mountain with different people over time.
And so how did that go about? Because I remember you like building your tribe, or like your following of like the people that's like really with the mission. So how did you go about, all right, out of 10 of my friends, one might change. All right, it don't look like none of them is changing, but I got to find people to help build this business. So how did you go about finding the different people, and how did you know who would stick around, or like what made Emilio or Tier or some of the other people that was constantly around? How did you gravitate towards them, and how did you know, all right, this is somebody that I could rock out with to help me grow?
I didn't know. You won't know. For instance, Tier, he comes from he comes from where my mom's side of the family is, Hallville, right? Indianapolis. And I didn't think that he was really going to change into the guy that he was today. I was willing. I don't look for people that just have the results. I look for people that have the drive. And if you got the drive, I can't teach you. I can teach you skills. I can't teach you drive. Like, I can teach you how to cook, but I can't teach you how to be hungry. And Tier was just one of those guys he just stuck around, man. He was kind of like me, where he stopped hanging with the people that weren't pushing him towards where he wanted to be. And he latched on to me, and I was blessed to mentor him. And he was crazy enough for me to mentor him, I guess. And now he's traveling everywhere. He's speaking in Germany and training people how to do the same thing. Emilio, he gravitated towards me as when you start attracting different people. So I like what like Earl Nightingale says, when you're moving towards your goal is moving towards you. So they were just on that right frequency that I was on. So when I saw Emilio in LA, he asked to come to Indiana because he wanted to be mentored by me, and he ended up staying in Indiana for many years. So because he loved the results that he was getting, and he loved the environment that we were setting in place. I never knew. I tell people all the time, the numbers never change, only the faces do. So you'll never know really, oh, that one's going to be the one, or this one's going to, he's in my inner circle. For one, Emilio, he came around my second year, I believe, second or third year, I believe, or I think it was the second. Tierra came around my third year. I mean, so my first people that I was really pouring into and investing time and energy into them, they're not here today, so it wasn't, I think, but every single level, I look at this business, I look at life, I look at whatever success you're trying to reach. It's like an elevator. When you're on that first level and you're trying to get to the 100th floor, everybody on each level, there's going to be somebody new that comes in the next level, but eventually that elevator is going to say to the capacity, we can't take everybody. Some people's going to have to jump off. Some bad habits is going to have to go. Some bad way of thinking is going to have to leave for you to reach up to where you want to be. So I think that every person my first year was just level me up for the next year and the next year and the next year. And Emilio just came in that second level, and Tierra came in that third level, and Jason came in that second level. Jason, he's one of my youngest stars, 23 years old, doing very well in business. And so I think, I don't really look at people and say this person's going to be the one, because I never know who's going to blow up. I mean, everybody's like a mine. You never know who's going to blow up. You never know who's really hungry and who's not just talking about it, that really wants to do it. I'm not looking for barkers, man. Anybody can bark. I'm looking for biters.
Facts. So let me ask you, and shout out to Jason, that's my dude.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, you had spoke about, a lot of the people that you were poured into at first aren't really here now, or didn't even stick around long enough to be around with Emilio was there or Tierra was there. And a lot of people find difficulty in walking away from things that they've invested in, whether it's a relationship, I didn't pour too much into this person, so I can't walk around even though it's not serving me no more. Even they have issues with letting go. And it seems like you didn't have issues with, so what? I didn't pour so much into you. I didn't gave you all this knowledge. I didn't gave you all this game. I didn't spend all this time with you and all that. Well, seems like network marketing ain't for you. I respect that. And you always just seem cool with just seeking out other people. You didn't seem to hold on to something that didn't want to be there. So can you kind of talk about that mindset with being okay with letting whoever is not meant to be around go, and then just keep focusing on whoever is meant to be there?
Well, I'm human. I mean, it hurts when you put, sometimes, you invest time, energy, money sometimes, and if we travel, I'm gonna help you out. When they leave, that's okay. If I want to help, if I was genuinely wanting to help you, I can't get mad when you leave if we're not earning together. That means I was using you. And there's a quote that comes to mind that Bob and Linda's always told me: if I need you, I can't lead you. If you need people, you can't lead people. So it's very important that your heart has to be in the right place. Now, will it hurt? Absolutely. Like I said, Chris, we're human. It's tough when people leave, but the goal should never change. Only the plan does. The goal, most people, when the plan doesn't work, they change the goal. I've never been that type of person. If my plan doesn't work, I change and find a new plan. I'll change and find a new plan. It's very important that you fall in love with the process and not just the result. I love the process. I love getting up at 4 a.m. I love, doing calls for Australia in the morning. I love, going and working out every single morning and doing, I've changed this business business into fun. And when you change your business into fun, they say it all the time. You never have to work a day in your life. I mean, this business it's fun to me. It's unsuccessful people. Well, successful people do things that unsuccessful people don't want to do. And you ask the question, why do some of these successful people, quote unquote, want to do things that unsuccessful people don't want to do? Well, it's not that they want to do it. They just changed what they were doing into a habit. And when you change what you're doing into a habit, you don't have any say so. You just do it naturally. Like winning is a habit and losing is a habit. It's a way of thinking. Poverty is not a result. Poverty is a result. It's not a, it's a result that people have. Like people ask me all the question, Chris, man, network marketing, what's the statistics in network marketing with people quitting? Well, the same statistics in everything. It's not an industry. Quitting is not an industry. Quitting is a habit that people have. So we got to stop asking the question, what's the statistics? I don't care what the statistics are. Like I tell people all the time, Chris, don't tell me the facts, tell me the truth, because facts can change all the time. Tell me the truth. Facts change all the time. Like the fact right now is now there's a pandemic going on and people are now freaking out. And I was talking to my guy, one of my UK leaders, his name's Jake, and he said something on the presentation. He said, this pandemic has changed the world. I said, this pandemic didn't change the world. I said, this pandemic revealed the world. The world was already shifting and changing. So you're either prepared or you're repaired, is what I tell people all the time. So you got to, you have to think ahead of the environment, of the economic system. You have to think ahead, because adversity doesn't build character. It doesn't just build it. It reveals character. Adversity reveals the character. So I don't even know how I got on that topic, man, but it's quitting with people. That's cool. I just never made, when I don't know if you remember this, Chris, my first year when you were coming to my meetings, I didn't have, people were coming, going. It was challenging my first year. And I knew that I had to learn the skills. I knew that I had to sharpen my skills, learn the skills. I mean, I didn't party. I didn't drink for like 7 months, 8 months. I was reading books. I was listening to audios. I made these guys my best friends, and I was kind of like distance away from these guys because they were texting me about, crazy stuff that we used to do. And I'm like, nah, I got to do this over here. I got to learn. I got to sharpen my craft. Most people aren't willing to do that, man. Most people just can't do it. And like Bob said, if you can't do it, then you don't deserve the reward. Point blank. How can I call myself a leader if I can't stay focused for a year? So for me, it was, you know what? Let me do this. Let me focus. Let me get my mind to catch up with my goal, because the goal's already there. Our mind has to be there now. God has already given us everything we want. Everything we want is already here. We have to be there. We're not waiting on him. He's waiting on us. So for me, I was thinking, if I just become a better person. So when I was doing those events and all those people were coming, Chris, you remember when I used to say, the people that were in the business, I would say, if you quit, I will make sure that this is the worst business mistake you've ever made. I don't know if you remember, I used to say that stuff. Now I do. I would say I will make sure that this is the worst business mistake you ever made. Not because of the business, but because I don't have a habit of quitting. There's no habit with Darrin that I jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out, jump in this, jump in that, jump out. That's not a habit that the Gibsons have. When we put our foot on something, we're going to do it. And I took that to heart. So imagine me giving up. I would look crazy. So
let me ask you, what's some of the sacrifices? Because that's one thing me and you go in a lot on, and that's something that I have learned a lot from you on, is like making sacrifices. One of the things you always used to say was that, we want our success, but God wants our sacrifice. Right. So what are some of the sacrifices that you see people who get into network marketing and don't do well, what are some of the sacrifices that they refuse to make that the people who are being successful in network marketing are making?
I can go on and on about that. I mean, there's so many things to sacrifice. If you're going to grow a business, not just network marketing, you have to keep pouring into your business money-wise. You have to keep, because what you invest in, you become. So you have to keep pouring in time, energy, and money into your business. What I find what people do, which is silly, is they get their first 6 figures and they buy a Lamborghini, right? You know, or whatever it is. I mean, I was young and silly at that time, you know, and just doing that. Now I look at that and I don't want the vehicle. I want the whole doggone store. I want the whole lot. Right. So now my mindset is it has shifted from stop trying to look rich and let's actually be rich. Let's actually be there. So I mean, and that came from exposure too. I mean, I was out in Toronto for a bit and I would see a lot of, millionaires not have vehicles. A lot of millionaires not have a house. They're staying in apartments and condos. And they're talking about how don't get the home. Totally different paradigm shift from where we come from, Indiana. Get your house, get you a vehicle. But their mindset is shifting. No, don't get that. That will come. Keep pouring into your business. Keep pouring in. That's one sacrifice right there. I think people get a little cash and they splurge it all because business sometimes go up and down, up and down, up and down. But you want to continually keep going up. But you got to understand that if you get some good cash, if you get some good income, you want to put that away a little bit. You don't splurge it like I was doing. I was having too much fun back then. But now I'm a little bit more smarter now because now I understand income a little bit. Now my relationship with income is different now. So I think that was one thing for the sacrifices.
I want to get back to more sacrifices, but as you're saying something, I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on something that triggered in my mind as you were speaking. And it said that you have to learn to burn your desires out or your desires will burn you out. So it's basically saying that when you have a desire, if you don't actually work to manifest that desire, then that desire is going to eventually burn you out because you're going to grow old. You're going to be angry and resentful and all these other things because you never even tried to pursue that dream or that vision that you had in your mind. So I think that now that you are able to get the Lamborghini, it was good that you burnt that out. Now you're like, yeah, now my mind is on something else. So what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think I don't regret it. It was I had it for 4.5 years. It was one of the best things in my life.
You were stunting in the city for sure.
Now you're right, man. It was something that I had to go through. It's just like in college, when I was in Bloomington, Indiana, we were partying every day, literally. If you've been in IU and know what that's about, I was there for 4 years. And I'm glad that I burnt that out because now I see people in their 30s, 35s doing that now, and so it's now it's I think, yeah, for sure. It's you got to find that balance and burn that out for sure. Yeah. I'm grateful for me doing that for sure. I mean,
facts.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to tie it back into what you were saying when in regards to college too. That's one thing I feel kind of benefits me when it comes to taming my sexual drive, because a lot of times when I was younger, when I was in college, my number was something, honestly, I'm ashamed of. As I get older, you ain't proud of your body count and all the other stuff no more. Because we know it's really the intangibles that really kind of separate women. Every woman got the thing that we, penetrate, but it's the other things that really matter. So it's like, it helps me out now, having burnt all that out before, where I could be around a female and I'm not even thinking about sex. And I'm not trying to resist it. But it's just like, I had a lot of that years ago. So it's like now my mind is on other things when it comes to intimacy and when it comes to the woman and like, I'm not sexualizing her all the time. Even sometimes with my girl, she'd be like, yo, I'd be like, man, my fault. I just really just be around you. And I'm not just thinking about sex all the time. Like I could just be around you and just enjoy you and not want to do anything with you sexually and all that stuff, because I didn't burn all that out years ago. So that's what came to my mind as you started talking about the IU day. So I agree with you wholeheartedly.
I always tell people what's cute in your 20s is trifling in your 30s. You know, you can't. It's not a cute thing anymore when you get older. You know, and some people. I tell people all the time, maturity doesn't always come with age. Sometimes age comes alone. And when I see people that are getting older, but they're not getting wiser, for instance, with the women that you just said, imagine me still having that drive that I was having, you know, the D Gib going crazy in college, and me trying to run a multi-billion-dollar business. It's impossible. I can't be around. That means I can't be around attractive women. That means I can't, you know, I'm going to try to keep doing stuff. I tell people all the time, as soon as you do something with that woman in your business, she's gone. She's gone. And a lot of my, you know, some leaders take heed to it. Some don't. And some people got to learn the hard way. Some people learn from the mentors. You can either learn from people or you can learn from pain. And some people want to try that out. So it's if you want to run a successful business, you'll be around it. You always find somebody that's attractive. I mean, come on, man. I've been in Australia, I've been in Germany, I've been in Switzerland, I've been in Sweden, you're always
you earn a lot, and these ladies know what you be earning. And shoot, I could show a person a picture of you and they always be like, oh, he looked like he wealthy. Like, so yes. I know that they be
they
be on you.
But that's another sacrifice you gotta have. You know, that's something you got to stay strong-minded to. And it's not just for sacrifice for business. It's sacrifice for me. It's sacrifice for God. I want to get closer with him, you know, so it's different, man. It's different when you're trying to run something successful, man.
So let's talk about that sex transmutation. How much have you noticed as you've tamed, you know, your sexual energy growing up and everything? How much have you noticed that energy being able to be transmuted into other things? And do you find that to be true, the whole sex transmutation thing, and you've been able to put greater energy into your other endeavors?
Yeah. Hold on, somebody's out here. Let me change this. Sure.
All right. So, you were saying you can either learn from people or you can learn from pain. And we were talking about sexual transmutation in regards to growing and scaling your business.
Yeah. When it comes to everything's energy, man, and working with Bob and Linda, they've just changed my whole perspective, my whole mindset when it comes to and hopefully you can't hear that too loud, but
you're good.
They changed my whole perspective when it came to energy and etc. Sexual drive, there was a time when it was a while, because I was so focused. It wasn't because of that, Chris. I think that when you have direction, you know what's going to get you there and you know what's not going to get you there. So when you have direction, you're so focused on what you're trying to get to. It's like an obsession, right? A burning desire. And everyone thinks that obsession, that word, is a negative word. It can be a positive thing when you direct it in the right way. And for me, I just had a goal of where I wanted to be. I had a goal of what I wanted to do. So when you're thinking about something all the time, you're not thinking about doing this over here. When it comes to sex, when it comes to partying, when it comes to the reason why, Chris, I think that a lot of people, they have a lot of fun or whatever it is. They just don't have too much fun. You know, I tell people all the time, they party more than celebrities, right? So I think it's because a lot of people, they don't have the direction. But when you have somewhere where you want to go, you're not thinking about that all the time. You're thinking about what you're trying to do. You're so focused on this right here. And when you're doing that, all that energy that's flowing in, all that drive, the drive for you to go somewhere and what you want to do, the power is just amazing, man. You can't stop somebody that has direction like that. Power is amazing.
So